We are Thursday, April 16th, day 106. Title, When Mercy Overrides the Clock. And Jesus said to her, Women, what does this have to do with me? My hour has not come yet. That's John chapter 2, verse 4. There is a profound lesson embedded in the familiar account of Jesus attending the wedding feast at Cana. As the celebration progressed, the wine ran out, a situation of potential embarrassment and shame. In response, Jesus' mother, Mary, approached him with a request. They have no wine. Jesus' initial response seemed to push back against the immediate intervention. This is so funny. I'll tell you guys why. Woman, what does this have to do with me? My hour has yet to come. He recognized that Mary was asking for a spiritual act, a miracle, but his response indicated a sense of timing and propriety. The designated moment for his public ministry was not yet at its full expression. He was conscious of protocol and the divine schedule. Yet Mary did something so instructive. Ignoring the words about timing and relevance, she turned to the service and gave an instruction that stands as a pillar of faith. Whatever he tells you, do it. This action suggests a deep intuitive understanding that transcended the immediate spoken exchange. Why would she act as if she hadn't heard the caution about the appointed time? Because Mary knew something foundational about her son. She knew that mercy prevails over judgment. Mary understood that Jesus, despite any established timeline, possessed an overwhelming reservoir of compassion. She was certain that his mercy and compassion would override the protocol of when he was supposed to reveal himself. She trusted that Jesus would not allow those people to face the humiliation of empty tables. Even if the logical sequence dictated delay, his heart would compel action to prevent shame. And what happened? Just as Mary predicted, the sequence was broken. Despite the declaration that it was not yet his time, Jesus gave an instruction. Following that instruction, wine appeared, and not just ordinary wine, but wine superior to what had been served before. Jesus, in a sense, was cornered, not by logic, but by the compelling nature of his own compassion. His mercy superseded the calendar. This incident calls us today to reevaluate how we approach God. Many of us are overwhelmingly conscious of divine judgment, the strict adherence to law, or perhaps our own perceived disqualifications. We look often at our mistakes or circumstances and conclude we've forfeited our right to favor. We believe we don't qualify for what we need because the time isn't right. But the message from Cana echoes, God is merciful and compassionate. If you can grasp this truth, it transforms your approach to prayer. Even when you mess up, even when you know logically you don't deserve the breakthrough, you can appeal to the mercy seat. You can cry out loud, Lord, have mercy. Perhaps the promotion you seek seems premature by external standards, or maybe past failures have led you to believe certain blessings are permanently off limits. It does not matter if you feel you're the architect of your own predicament. There is always mercy. God's mercy and compassion always supersedes and overrides legalities and judgment. His grace operates outside the rigid constraints of earned timing. Therefore, always fix your eyes upon the mercy of God. When you bow your head, lift your voice with the plea, Lord, have mercy on me. Recognize that the one you are addressing is not primarily looking to execute judgment, but is waiting to demonstrate boundless compassion. He is your Father, and you are approaching the most compassionate being in the universe. This consciousness will fundamentally change your engagement with him. God sees you, God knows you, and he is overwhelmingly for you. Step out today, God-backed and embraced by unending mercy. Now, the reason I was saying this is kind of funny is because this story, and for those who've watched Chosen, it's one of the scenes that they do show in the show. And this is Jesus's first miracle. So when he says, my hour has not yet come, he's talking about him coming out as the Messiah, like for real, right? And in the show, Mary says, if not now, then when? And that's kind of when Jesus realized, you know what? Now is as good of a time than ever. He asked the servants to go and get big pots of, these big pots and fill it with water and bring it back. And they're so confused. And then they bring it. And then in the show, Jesus tells them to step outside. And then he prays. And then they come back. And then it's wine. and everyone's confused. So the reason I said that this was funny is because that line, if not now, then when, I have been taking a hiatus from media for quite some time. And I feel like I over invested. I invested into the wrong people. I invested too much of my money. I was trying to do too many things at once. And I had to take a break. I had some debts to pay. And I focused on my work and all these things. And I've gotten very far. I got married recently. Like a lot of things have happened in the last 7 years, 8 years, right? Because I stopped around like 2018, mid 2018. And sometimes I tell myself, I'm like, I don't know if I'm ever going to get back to it. And then I'm like, you know what? I just need to get back into it. So me doing these videos was actually the beginning of my media. And I wanted to do something that gives me time with God. Obviously, this is very public, right? I'm putting it on YouTube and stuff like that so everyone can see. But it gives me, for me, I still feel like it's very private. Like I still have time with God every day. And I don't skip a day. And if I do, I make it back. I still make the video for that day that I missed. Like I was on vacation last week and I had to do that for a few days. That being said, I just bought a camera today, and I told myself, I went on a walk and I was talking to God, and I was like, Lord, I felt like I didn't want to get something that was too expensive or too much, because I want to start small with no expectations, because I don't even know where I'm going. So I bought something. The price was relatively cheap compared to other things. And I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna start getting back into photography because I really love taking pictures, to be honest. That's my thing. I love filming, and I also really love music. I love everything media. And I was gonna not buy it today. I was gonna wait a few months, and then I'm like, you know what, let me just get it. Like, I got it on eBay. It's one of the few that were there still, and I'm like, it's a decent price. Let me just buy it. Forget it. I know I don't have the cash money right now. Just put on my credit card. I'll pay back within a few weeks. No big deal. So it's so funny that the word today is talking about God's first miracle, Jesus' first miracle. And those words, if not now, then when, just kind of hit me. Sometimes in life, we just have to push forward and do something that we feel maybe we're not ready for. And, God's favor will kind of pick up the slack, right? Like, I can't be thinking to myself, oh, I haven't, worked hard enough to get back to this level and all the things, you'll get lost in your mind. I could go on and on about everything that I dealt with in media, but it has nothing to do with now. Now, there's a call to action. I just need to step into it. I need to jump off that plane. I need to dive into the deep end, however you want to say it. I just have to jump into it. If not now, then when? Now is as good of a time than ever, and God will just pick up the slack along the way. His favor covers us like a shield. We have to remember this. God wants us to excel, wants us to do great in life, and we need to trust in him. So this was kind of an act of faith for me. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to buy the camera and I'm going to see where it goes, and we will see. So maybe watch this back in a year and see how far I came from then. And I hope that I'm going to be able to do more than what I've done now. So just a little bit of encouragement for you guys and inspiration. Anyone who's feeling like, I'm not ready to jump off the cliff, just jump, trust God, jump, and you'll figure everything else along the way.